30 minutes of friends talk about everything that matters to women. Welcome to the lounge.
They don't want anyone to touch their makeup, no one to actually even criticize their makeup, the shade, everything in details. But sometimes people don't really know, or let's say don't address the situation that makeup has an expiration date.
That's so true.
Some products tend to, not tend to, all of them have their expiration date, and people really try to avoid that kind of, let's say, feeling that I'm reaching towards a point I have to throw and toss them away.
That is so true. Let's start with the confessions. Let's cue the confessions. So, I do trust the expiration date to a certain extent. I know it exists. I acknowledge it. I know it's there. I ignore it. But under one circumstance. For example, eyeshadows, you know that they've officially expired when, for example, they become patchy, they have a white cast on them, they hard pan, whatever it is. For example, for eyeshadows. For me, until it does that, I'm using it. Okay. So I have palettes. My favorite palette ever was a limited edition eyeshadow palette by a famous makeup artist. I even used it today. I use it very sparingly. I've hit pan on all the shades, but I promise you I've had it for a good 10 years.
Wow.
I know it hasn't expired because there's no funky smell. It's not, the color is not dragging weird. It's not patchy. It's beautiful. It's still smooth. But for example, there's a primer that I got from a really known brand, and I promise you, after 2-3 uses, I think within 2 weeks, it smelled weird. And although the expiration date is still in over a year, I knew that it was already expired just from the 2-3 uses. And since then, I've never touched it, thrown it away. So as soon as the product is telling me I'm expired, I definitely throw it away. I don't wait any longer. But things especially like shadows or powders, things that I know are not liquids, won't be really going into my skin. If there isn't any signs of expiry on them, trust me, I'm using it.
Yeah.
Do you follow them?
To be honest, I do exactly the same, but only when it comes into eyeshadows, as you just said. If it's more of any kind of liquids products that we're going to use, let's say talking about foundations, because I do remember back in the days, I never used to buy one foundation, but a whole set of foundation from different kind of brands. So are the ones that I really like, I tend to use a lot. And then there's the ones that you use only for weddings.
Exactly.
You know, a year, there's always an invitation for a wedding in each month. And each month, maybe you'll have 3-4 invitations. And then there's another year where there's no weddings whatsoever. So what happens is when it comes into foundations, I tend to always try to take the ones that are very, let's say, into a creamy use rather than the ones that comes more of a liquid use.
That's right.
Because when it's liquid and it's expired, you're going to notice that it gets, let's say, yes, and it shows and you cannot mix it all over again. But when it's more of a creamy and even the texture is more of a creamy product, they could actually apply. They say that it could even last for even the expiration date for maybe 3 or 4 months above. And
that's
it's still on the way that you actually preserve them. Are they in a dry place? Are they in a very, let's say, good temperature place, not very hot, not very cold, but it helps them to stay and keep that kind of texture all alive. So yeah, I do keep them. I do use them also in a way.
Definitely.
And what I tend to do is always avoid, let's say, having lipsticks that much where you reach to a point, you know, it gets really, let's say, having that texture.
The dryness. And by the way, the smell of an expired lipstick, you know, as soon as you smell that lipstick smell, darling, it's expired. Throw it away. You're putting that on your mouth, on your lips. You know, we do eat our lipstick. We do ingest a percentage of it. It could be really, really harmful for us. So definitely, I feel like lipsticks is one of the things we should not be messing with. If it's expired, if it's matter that it usually is, there's all of these things. Even if sometimes the color actually changes. It turns really warm. Warm lipsticks turn cool. So just keep an eye out on all of these things. So I don't feel like it's a rule where you need to follow the actual number. I feel like it's even a hassle. Imagine having to remember when you open the product and noting it down. And let's be honest, with makeup products, it's not like we have one concealer, one foundation. We have a few from everything. Lipsticks, can we even count the amount of lipsticks we have? So I feel like just go off of the texture, the color, the smell. All of these factors really make a difference and can make you understand if it's expired or not.
Yes, indeed.
And Another tip I feel like is always buying makeup that is authentic. I know that there's a lot of places that sell fake makeup. I really don't think we should be buying those because there's a lot of harmful products and it's as if you're already buying something expired. Anyway, Hiba, let's take a quick break. I know for us, posture and the way we sit comes naturally, or at least as soon as they say 3, 2, 1, rolling, we have the perfect posture. And I think it's like the ABC of being on camera and being hosts in general. But when it comes to our day-to-day lives, things could be very different because as soon as we hear cut, we also go back into our normal posture, our normal personalities, and everything goes back to normal. Of course, we don't need to sit in a certain way. My question is, do you think that posture and being very ladylike is still a thing, or do you think it's outdated and something from the past?
So to be honest, it's one of the most terrifying things that I grew up with, is because I had this strict mom that I was obliged to actually sitting away, walking away, standing away, and waiting away.
Wow.
So up till this date, every time I sit in a public place or even with my friends or anyone else, I tend to have these kind of, let's say, way when it comes into my posture and the way I sit and the way I deal with it. It's because of that kind of sense where I actually grew up with. So I remember back in the days, and especially nowadays, I went with my mom outside. And we went to a restaurant where we were ordering, and I was, let's say, standing on the counter, and I just, let's say, loosen up in a bit. I was standing on one leg and loosening up to the other, and my mom pinched me near my arm, and she was like, stand straight.
That pinch. You don't mess with that pinch.
Yes, and she was like, stand up straight. Don't stand like that. And I'm like, sorry, I'll stand up straight.
I feel like instantly he was like, okay, I'm gonna correct my posture.
Exactly.
Definitely.
So having that, I mean, I think it's something that's been associated with something with our parent and parenthood back in the days. Nowadays, I don't feel people really do consider that much. I tend to do that with my kids because maybe I was raised in that way and I'm doing it unconsciously.
Yes.
But into a way that I don't extend to be very annoying, that people even nowadays they will be like, why is she treating her daughter that way? Why is she looking? Why is she, let her just be free and normal.
Yes, but I feel like being right in the middle where you are teaching your children normal life lessons like that is very helpful, because I promise you, we have all seen kids that have turned into teenagers and later adults, and we've all commented like, where were their parents?
Right.
You know, there's no manners, there's no etiquette, there's even conversation skills are at zero. They don't know when to start, when to stop, and how to act comfortably in front of people. So I am not team, you know, have the perfect posture all the time. Like if you are out with your friends or in a cozy setting at your friend's place watching TV, sit in whatever way you want to sit in. I don't want to see you with your back stiff, and I want you to be comfortable and happy, you know what I mean? So to me, that is right. So this over etiquette and, you know, I have to open like this and sit like this and hold this like this, I'm not into. But I feel like sometimes in certain settings, you do have to, as a first impression, you know, be as neat and tidy as possible and kind of have the posture and all of these etiquette things. But honestly, for me, as soon as the cameras are not rolling, I'm a very casual person. I'm in a sweatshirt or a hoodie. I'm probably sitting on the floor somewhere. I prefer that to any couch on this planet. And even if I'm sitting on the couch, my legs are up, unfortunately. You know, I'm crossing my legs or whatever. So I do believe in being comfortable. I feel like I'm also at an age where I'm allowed to, you know, act a bit more comfortably. But no, I do agree. It's important to kind of pass on these skills that our parents have passed on to us, to our children, so that when they're teenagers sitting at a restaurant, they know how to sit right at
Yes, and to be honest, I totally agree with you, because in the end, we're talking about more of, let's say, comfort zone and comfort areas where you're actually able to act free. Like, can you imagine being stiff and standing with all of your back straight in your own home?
No way.
Everyone would be like, why are you so intense and why are you doing that? So I do believe a comfortable seating and being comfortable is very precise when it comes into, let's say, your own areas, your own place. But when it comes into public place, of course, there are certain rules that we actually go through.
Exactly.
But not of even one of them could be very that strict where people are going to judge in a way. To me, I do understand when it comes into tolerating with your own, let's say, kids and toddlers, because imagine having them sitting on a couch in front of public people, raising their legs up, not sitting appropriately. People would be immediately addressing that kind of sense.
Exactly.
So to me, it's very important to, as you just said, elaborate on that kind of sense of knowledge where they could really act it in a very good, precise way. So talking about that topic is something very important, but how about to take this quick break? So when it comes into our closet and trying to fit everything on, like, do you actually wear everything that you own, especially when it comes into all of these important things that we buy? Because they are important. Every piece in our closet is important.
Don't let anyone tell you they're not important, okay? Promise me you won't.
I promise.
Anyway, I'm not gonna lie, no, unfortunately. I want to say yes. The things that I know I still haven't worn, the tag is still on, and I know I'm never gonna wear, I did learn to start giving away, no matter what, no matter how expensive it is. But I've also been in situations, remember that concert I was going to?
Yeah.
My dream come true
Yes.
concert? When I booked the tickets 2 weeks before it, for the entire 2 weeks, finding the perfect dress or outfit was consuming me. While I'm filming, while I'm at work, while I'm sleeping, while I'm awake, while I'm with my friends, all I did, I swear I looked through over 1 million dresses, every single website out there and every price bracket and range out there. And that day literally told me, if I see a dress that I like, even if I don't have an occasion, I buy it because an occasion is gonna come up.
Of course.
A birthday dinner is gonna come up, a random dinner is gonna come up,
right.
A trip is gonna come up. So unfortunately, I have ended up with a collection of dresses that I still haven't worn, but I promise you I'm gonna wear. They're important. Doesn't mean they're not important. They're so important.
Yeah, well,
I still haven't worn them.
I agree with you, because I have this thing where we have in this family, the time will come.
The time will come.
Each dress has its own purpose and its own timing. Whether you buy it very early, you keep it for 3-4 years, the day will come for you to actually wear it, to use it. So never regret purchasing any kind of outfit or dress that you actually like. The most important thing is you don't gain weight in order for you to be that
I have
kind
a
of
trick for that too. I'm not gonna lie.
Don't tell me buying a bigger size so it doesn't.
Yeah, okay. So let's say I bought this blazer, I wore it to work, and I know it's gonna be part of my top 10 blazers, for example.
Okay.
I will go back and I will buy it in a bigger size.
Okay.
So my favorite pants, I have 3 different sizes. I have my normal size, I have my skinny time of the month or year or whatever it is, so a smaller size, and I have the bigger size for my fatter days, which I have a lot.
Okay.
Most of the time I am with my fatter days.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, and I have that, but a few times it actually really worked out in my favor. There's a few pieces that are actually designer and I've spent a lot of money on. By the time I decided that I really love this piece, I want to be able to wear it all my life. I don't want it to become tighter because I'm getting weight, right? I don't want it to be smaller. I don't want it to rip or be ruined. By the time I go buy it again in a bigger size, it's not only 50% off, it's 70%.
Oh my God.
So it's like an extra discount and I feel like I did something amazing. I accomplished something. So yeah, if you come to my home, I hope you know, if you go through my closet, you're gonna find anything and everything in doubles. A size small and a size medium. Pants in a size 38 and a size 40.
Yeah.
Previously, the pants were 36 and 38. Now we moved to another
level.
Completely different.
I understand, because it really hurts when you see yourself going through that level. And especially it's a level that you never reach. Like to me, the level I am is now 46, something I've never reached to. It was 40 was the maximum.
Yes.
This was that's it, you know? And now I'm like, are you for real? What's wrong? What's happening? So I mean, so many things do actually happen when it comes into that, and of course to the size itself. But you know, the most important thing is to always try to take everything out. Try to not let anything inside the wardrobe. Always try to, you know, even when it comes into fixing it. You know, sometimes what I do is, so I have this set where I have my dresses, my shirts, my blazers, my normal wear that I wear. What I do is I take them all out and then I change their places. Because they say when you change things and change places, you start to, let's say, get that kind of energy where everything gets more positive, more new, renewable vibes. And you can see some stuff that you never saw before.
Yes, that's
and then you'll be like, you know what? this is what I'm gonna wear, and yeah.
Exactly. I actually had the same situation this weekend. So I had a really busy 3 weeks. My aunt came all the way from Australia. My friend also visited from Bahrain. We were also filming throughout most of the week with this show, other shows. So when I tell you I was busy, I was busy. So the clothing rack that I used for the clothes of the week became the clothes of the month. And it just became like a whole compilation of everything I've worn, can wear, will wear in the future, in the past, and it was a big mess. When I just put everything back into my closet, it was late at night, I was tired, so it didn't go in the certain order I usually have my clothes in. All of a sudden, my clothes popped and I was able to see everything. And I promise you, within 5 minutes, I had all like 20 outfits for filming ready and out on the rack. Anyway, I feel like when it comes to clothes, we can talk forever, so let's take a quick break. But I know sometimes when we are very stressed, all we need to do is focus on a very simple thing, which is breathing. Our breathing could really change the level of our stress, how angry we are, how agitated we are. So will you take my advice if I tell you breathe?
Never. Never, ever, ever, ever. And you know, I had this watch that actually had that kind of exercise where it gives me that alert to breathe.
Oh, wow.
I stopped wearing it.
I burned it.
Like literally, I stopped it. I just tossed it all away. Like if you ask me where it is, I'd be like, I don't care.
No,
I don't care.
I don't care. Okay.
So the thing is, I think it's really a good exercise for some. People do tend to feel like, you know what, if I breathe everything, it will just relax me in a way. To me, if I see someone who actually does that, will trigger something very bad in me, and I'll be like, you know what? I get stressed, I get angry, I get irritated.
Toxic in you comes out.
Like I don't know what's wrong, it's just breathing. But to me, it is the most worst exercise that I could actually go. Like breathing could never relax me. It irritates me. Like if I want to calm myself down, I would do an exercise.
Okay.
I would go for a run. I would maybe watch something or play with a video game or do anything that could actually distract me in a way. I would never eat food. I will never eat snacks. I will never eat, let's say, sweet. But I would do something more of something that makes me actually breathe without breathing. You know, breathe without thinking that I need to breathe.
Yeah.
So maybe it's because that kind of sense of you giving me an order, like try to breathe, and I'd be like, you know what? No.
See,
you know what? I stop.
When someone tells me to chill, I promise you, I will be the polar opposite of that word.
Yeah.
I will be, you know, the definition of the opposite of chill, or please chill, or, you know, whatever it is.
Yes.
You know, so I really understand. I think it's an issue in our personality, or if you give us an order, we completely switch off, turn off, do the opposite.
Yeah.
It just happens like this. Like we don't need to think about it. But honestly, I really wanted to judge you and tell you that you're very toxic. But let's be very honest. It's so true. As soon as I focus on my breathing, I feel like I cannot breathe.
I forget how to breathe. Like I'll start breathing. You know what? I can't breathe from my... I'll start realizing some issues. I can't breathe from my nose. I breathe from my mouth. Therefore, indicating so many kind of issues that's actually inside yourself. So and you don't want to address it.
On it. Yes. Exactly. See, that's the thing. We've been breathing all our lives. We're still alive and surviving, which means we are on the right track. But I guess whenever we focus on it too much is when things really go downhill for us. But I'm not going to lie. The only time I really focus on my breathing is when I'm running on a treadmill, which I tend to do a lot. And remember when we didn't have an elevator to the 3rd floor?
Yes.
I was focusing on my breathing.
Yes.
And that's the reason that I was able to kind of, not always, kind of come in and still be able to say hi to everyone. I remember the last time right before they put in the elevator for us, Hiba, I did not focus on my breathing. I was just running up the stairs. All I know is I got here and I needed a good 5 minutes to recover.
Yeah. And I think and I believe so many people do actually tend to try to always relax themselves and find their own, let's say, comfort, calming situation or calming thing they to actually do, more of a ritual. So my husband has this thing when he's really intense, he just take a pause and start breathing. And when I see him does that, it tries to triggers me like, are you upset? Is there something wrong? And he's like, I'm trying to calm myself down.
Just trying to survive.
And I'm like, why are you calming yourself? Like, what happened? It's like addressing me as an issue, and it's not about me, it's about something else. But thought of him breathing indicates into me that there's something wrong happening.
Oh wow.
So yes, again, telling you, a lot of people would consider each different, let's say, practice they would actually do could be something very effective to them in a way. Breathing could be calming for others. People tend to, let's say, work out, as we just, let's say, elaborate on. Some people like drawing. You know, there is actually a book that's actually titled a coloring book for, let's say, calming down, relaxing, and even for breathing as well. So you would see so many different, let's say, sketches, and you just adding colors to it in order for you to feel relaxed and feel calm. But the thing is, it's not about the colors, it's about the texture, the sketches that they elaborated on presenting it for you. It's the kind of psychological ones that gives you more of that calmness and relaxing thing to do. So I think it differs from a person to another. What do you like to do in order for you to get really calm? So with that being said, how about to take this quick break?
I always thought that I could wear denim on denim, but it had to be matching denim on denim. But over the years, I started noticing that the matching denim on denim felt a bit forced, honestly, a bit too cliche. And if you have noticed, the most thing I hate when it comes to fashion is someone being overly cliche with their fashion, or, you know, predictable with it, okay? So I've noticed lately that when there is a slight difference, and I'm not talking like really light blue denim and then really dark, no, a slight difference, a few shades of difference when it comes to mixing your denim, I really like it. And it looks more effortless. It gives more of the Scandinavian girl vibes, you know, what's really trending now, the clean girl look. So I tried it for the first time, and honestly, it looks way better than wearing the, I'm finally gonna say it, ugly dark denim on dark denim, and it looks like a set, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like the set, there's a time for it, but when it comes to denim, I feel like it needs to be more effortless.
Yes, like, to be honest, you can also see through fashion trends as well. So many bags now are there in the market when it comes into trying to boost that kind of sense of it's fine to mix different kind of colors of denims all together and you wearing it out, let's say, in public. Back in the days, people would never wear any kind of, let's say, the blue jeans denim with any kind of, let's say, denim as well, unless it's more black or gray. It's a denim, but it's different color, as in really different.
Yes.
So now, no, you can see that it's fine. You can wear light and dark, similar colors, whatever you like to actually match and mix. It's fine, and people are really accepting it in a way.
That's right.
And I do believe it's more of a thing now that it really gives you more of that kind of sense where it's relaxing actually in a way, not feeling really judged also, especially after making it more of a trend. And people started to mix and match it also by buying denims that has different layers of the blue, let's say, color, that really gives that kind of vibes that it's fine, and let's say it's not really toxic to see it.
Exactly, it's not that big of a deal. Honestly, Hiba, when you mentioned the bags that are coming out, we recently also saw that with ballerinas. You know, the cap toe part was, for example, light denim or dark denim, and then the other side was the opposite denim. Also, there was like a light shade with the logo scattered all over in a different shade of denim. So I feel like now that we're seeing it mixed, not just, you know, like the pants are one color, then the top is another color of denim. No, like the actual one piece is mixed. It is allowing us to kind of mix both denims. We're getting finally to this effortless, easy look, fashion that is not, you know, so calculated and so forced and everything. I feel like it's very similar to how we were told all our lives not to mix silver and gold metals, and now it is the move to do.
Yeah,
it is what you're meant to do actually.
Yeah.
So we're finally seeing that with denim too, and I'm loving that trend, to be honest.
Yes, and it's very important to always think about it in a way that hopefully we don't go back again, let's say years ahead, and then we'll be like, how did we actually manage to have them all set, you know, back in the days when you have a trend and we used to do that, and then, you know, we go back again thinking about like, how did we do it? Hopefully we don't reach to that point.
Hopefully.
But I mean, we see it and we feel like it's really beautiful. It's very nice. It actually gives more of a sense of a chic, let's say, vibes. But to be honest, I would wear it, but I wouldn't wear it for, let's say, a meeting or going for a very more important, let's say, gathering. I would rather wear it for going out for work or going for a small gathering with friends outdoors.
Something casual.
Yes, and I prefer it to be outdoor activity rather than just staying here at home or let's say being in a place where you're actually seated. And with me, it's fine. I would wear a denim, but it wouldn't be matching with the outfit. It would be something just on the top, and that's it. So this is what I really feel like we should really wear it, but not really exceed where to wear it, like in very important places, even if it's a brand. Because
I agree.
Even when it comes into brands, they're now actually giving their pens into denim, and a lot of people did actually abuse a certain brand and wore it exactly into even very big events, just because the brand actually presented that piece. So I mean, they presented it for a certain occasion, but it's not for a very, let's say, luxurious event as well.
Exactly, that's very true. See, there's a lot of rules for what shoes you're meant to wear, indoor, outdoor, to meetings, workplaces, or whatever event it is. And a lot of people, if something is a brand, they will wear it. They don't care because they think it's a brand that's acceptable. But no, slippers are slippers. You know, denim is still denim no matter where you wear it. So I think we need to keep those things in mind. Anyway, Hiba, let's take a quick break. So Hiba, there's so many shades of white. I know that especially with brides, you know, they go insane trying to find the perfect white for their big day. But I also think it applies to us on a day-to-day basis. What kind of white do we wear? The undertone, the shade of white. Apparently, all of this plays a role in helping us not look washed out. What's your opinion on that?
To me, the most important thing is not to have that kind of white that goes into a blue color. That really irritates me. I would really like to go towards that kind of sugar white. It's not that white, but it's not that, let's say, yellowish. It's more of that kind of sweet white color that really goes very well with all of the outfits that you wear, different colors and different kind of, let's say, matching. And you know what's really difficult is when you want to wear white and white together. And a lot of conflicts does actually occur when it comes into wearing that kind of, let's say, white trousers and then trying to match it with a white blazer. Though you think they are very similar, yet there are different type of whites being there.
That is my nightmare. There's a lot of times when I have just bought a new white blazer and I'm like, perfect, I have a white camisole that I'm going to wear under. Easy, outfit done, I can go to work. And I put them on, and the whites are not even siblings. They're not from the same family. And it's usually a disaster, to be honest. But I noticed I am similar to you. I like a white or a very neutral white, but I don't like the yellowy white. That's where I feel like it really does wash me out. I look, you know, grayish. It's not the best color for me. So I'm guessing, if I'm not mistaken, that's an ecru. I'm not sure. So I think for us, we need to stick to a similar white to what you're wearing, or like an off-white, I guess.
Yeah. And one of the difficult thing is when you have your parents, and especially trying to always convince them that this white is not suitable. I mean, even when it comes into curtains and walls, they'd be like, immediately just buy a white color, and they would buy the worst white color to add to the wall, to the fabric, and you'd be like, why is it so white, neonic? I don't know how it really
Thank you very much. Okay, so my friend was over, and I have the best lighting for getting your makeup done. When it comes to vanity, I don't mess with my lighting. It has to be perfect. So a friend comes over to get ready, and she's like, ew, you have yellow lighting? And I'm like, what do you mean? She's like, my room has white light, and I can only do my makeup in white light. And I'm like, there's no way any normal person is choosing to get ready or do their makeup in white light. So I'm really glad you mentioned that, because I genuinely hate white light, to be honest, and I feel like a ghost in it. Anyway, I could keep going on about the light situation. It really angers me, but let's wrap up for this evening.